how concerned are you about monkeypox cases occurring in Canada?
I'm not too concerned about it. I mean, we went to Florida about a month ago, and everyone was jam-packed. And for that whole week, none of the family got COVID. So not too concerned about monkeypox or COVID.
Oh, I'm very concerned. Why? Because everything that's going on with the COVID and now another, and now we're probably going to get a vaccine for that one. Of course I'm concerned.
I mean, I'm aware of it. How concerned am I? I'm concerned about the whole situation of the virus and how it's been managed. And so it's just part of my ongoing concern about why things are happening and how they're being managed. So
I'm moderately concerned now. If it starts to spread, then I certainly have more concern.
I'm not very concerned about it. I've had enough of COVID. I haven't heard anything in the news that we should be alarmed about, and we're just going to deal with it like we dealt with COVID, and nobody's going backwards anymore. We just have to take our health care into our own hands. It's not the government's responsibility to deal with it, it's ours. And we know how to deal with COVID, masking. If you have autoimmune or any health issues, you don't go outside. I'm not worried about monkeypox.
What I'm hearing is that the normal pox medicine vaccination is catering to this. So I don't think that we are kind of really worried about it. Hopefully that the government and people in Toronto have learned from COVID, and they are much more careful that things like that can come in the future, and they're taking care of themselves. And government is much more prepared than it was at the time of COVID. So not really scared, but definitely a bit concerned that things are happening, and we all just should be taking care of each other.
Not personally. It appears to be quite limited, and it's not like COVID or something like that you're going to catch by. If somebody with monkeypox walked into the farmer's market today, I don't suppose anybody would ever notice. It's not something, as far as I understand it, it's not something that's spread by sort of aerosol droplets or anything like that. It requires very close proximity to a person, and so no, it's not something I'm worried about.
I need more information. As a healthcare provider, I need more information. So I'm curious to learn more about the virus and where it's come from and its potential and transmission. I think we're still in the midst of a pandemic, so hearing about a new virus that's emerging is always concerning, but where does it stand in transmissibility and all those sort of things that impact what the public health efforts should be from that. So I'm curious to learn more about it and see how the general public should or shouldn't be concerned about it, kind of thing.
No, I don't think so. I think because after COVID we're pretty prepared now, and I think that if it is a concern, I feel that the people, they'll warn us if we need to be ready for something, and I think that we're much more prepared for pandemics and epidemics and that sort of thing. So
I think as a new parent, you're terrified of anything that comes in as a potential new pandemic, but I don't think it's been keeping us up day to day personally.
I think I agree. I think that we're obviously always worrying about his concern, but I think if anything, we're more concerned about what's going on with climate change and the bigger impact on his future and having a world for him to live in.
No, I don't. I think that now our health systems are equipped for something like this, so I think that we know how to tackle it, and we're not going to go through fatal government flaws that has happened before.
I guess it hasn't been so foremost on my mind. There are other pressing issues, I think, that have taken the place of monkeypox. I don't think on the heels of the COVID pandemic, it's never settling to hear that there's something else coming into Canada, but it's to be expected as well with all international travel and things such as that.
I mean, I'm not super concerned about it. It's something that it's a virus that's not novel. That there's a history that people know of. I was listening to a good podcast about it the other week, so no, not concerned at all.
Hopefully, it doesn't spread as fast as COVID does. We already have a vaccine from what I've heard. That the smallpox vaccine is very effective against it. So I'm not as worried about COVID because we're not going to be waiting for the vaccine to be developed and approved and so on and so forth. So we do have a plan in process, and hopefully people have learned their lesson from COVID and, know to mask up, know to wash their hands.
I think the way we look at this should obviously be careful. We should learn from our mistakes. And also, I think it's a bit strange kind of seeing people panic again when the COVID pandemic is clearly not over.
I am concerned actually, because I don't want to go back to the same lockdowns. Life is getting slower. People are like locked in their houses. Like the activities are too slow. People struggle even more with their mental health.
Generally, I'm not that concerned. I mean, there's always viruses and disease. That's part of just living in an ecosystem. I think back to Zika and how much public nervousness there was around it. I don't want to dismiss anything. Of course, there was very real cases and a lot of real concern. But in the end, I think it was not necessarily proportionate to the impact on the broader Canadian public. And monkeypox, I think, is going to be relatively similar.
I don't know if it's just another thing that we want to be scared of because now COVID's kind of coming to an end. I really have no idea. I'm not really... Again, I haven't really heard anything about it, so I'm not really affected by it right now.